This is Devious Dave Rose, professional pariah and all-around asshole, and you are tuned in to the greatest, defending, undisputed video game collector on the planet. Casey is Raw.
What up, guys? This is Casey is Raw again, and today I am currently recording a video game hunting episode. I did a live one on Saturday. I mean, technically it's still Saturday, so I went to a couple places, and honestly the video game store has the best stuff in town. But I just left the second vintage stock of the day, and it actually had some cool stuff that I took pictures, and there was two wrestling belts they have. One for $150 and one for $250. And they're both like top of the chain belts I always wanted. Honestly, the biggest one I've been wanting to get, minus the Winged Eagle, is the big Winged Eagle WWF Championship during the Attitude Era, and it's the scratch. And it was actually the WWF version of it. And I got a feeling this is right around the time, around WrestleMania X7, because that's probably when these belts were purchased. Because, we're in Oklahoma, and the WrestleMania was in X7. And I don't know, during that time frame, they were selling these belts everywhere they go. And I know at X7 they did. It's kind of like if you go to Access, you can go and buy any of these belts. So it was cool. So I think I pinpointed it the years 2001, and they bought it at WrestleMania X7 Access. And here's the second one that goes for $150. Is the WCW United States Championship. And I was like, oh my god. I wanted them both, but I kind of wanted the United States belt that much more. And they're really thin plates, though. Like, I could easily, bend these plates if I wanted to. They're really thin. But who cares how thin? They were cool. So I'm like, oh, man. If I knew they had that belt, I might have, instead of bought the NES in its box, and I tried to work it that got the United States title. That's right there. It could be on which day. I would probably want the WWF Attitude World title. But it was cool to see that. It was like, oh, badly wanted. So, it was cool to see that. That's every once in a while. That's why I was dope in the stock out a little more than just game sections. I'll check out the controllers, because every once in a while they get caught slipping on the controller, so sell them extremely cheap because they don't know what it is. And I reap the rewards. toys. I mean, shoot, if I didn't do toys, I mean, I would have caught those retro Star Trek toys that I knew they're old. It was hands down easily. You can tell they're not new or a reproduction. They are old. And the easiest thing you could do is check to see if there's any websites. If there's websites on it, they're old. I mean, they're fake, or they're reproductions. Like, I was looking at these Ninja Turtles, like, they look like the real deal. I mean, it looked like the real toy from the 80s. And then I just picked one up, looked on the back, and I saw the website. I was like, bam, there it is. It was a reproduction. So I knew, like, I was thinking about flipping them. Because, hey, it worked before. I mean, I took like 20-ish $20 worth of Star Trek toys and turned it into like $60 worth of trade value at the toy store. And pretty much paid for not only the Atari 5200, got half off of a Sega CD game. So, yeah, and then, yeah, you can look around and, like, that's where I found a WCW, no, actually it wasn't the WCW, it was the World Heavyweight title belt I found that I have, and I've seen other belts there before. Like, I saw those two today, and I saw the hardcore title. What was funny, the store that had the World Heavyweight title and the hardcore belt was priced higher than the world title. I'm like, I think I paid $50 for the World Heavyweight belt. And I think the hardcore belt was $150. It was like, oh, that's an obvious choice. Which one I'm picking up? So it was an obvious choice. But I picked up the first belt I ever got was the WWE World Heavyweight title. The one that considered the WWE Championship today at Toys R Us for $100. It's almost like a life-size adult version of the toy belt. So, and I was pretty happy just at that because I never thought I would actually get belts. And then I came across the World Heavyweight title. Then I came across the Intercontinental title. I think I paid $80. I think originally they had it marked like $130, and then a week or two later they dropped it to $80. I was like, oh hell yeah! And then after that, I picked up the Wwe Spinner Belt. What's funny, I'm actually about to drive by where I picked that up. It's coming up to my left. So it's funny, we're talking about this and it's right there. Pretty much the flea market's to my left right now. The one I go, like, probably once a month. But the one I go, like, every week or two is to the one to the right, and I'm about to pull up now because I find more stuff here than the other ones. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna see what they got, and I'll be back. Maybe I'll go over there. Maybe I'll go to the ghetto one if it's opened up. But we'll see. I'll be back. I got out of the two stores in Bartlesville, and I went live for like 20 minutes before that, and I don't know if I'm gonna come back anytime soon. The thing is just nothing new. I mean, B-Villains was like right below where Thrill House was. But Thrill House is like just heads and shoulders the best store in Oklahoma for video games. But B-Villains like right just below. Like maybe a notch down, but it was still good. They really haven't got anything new. And I think the problem is the location. They're not getting anything new. And same thing with Game Exchange. Game Exchange is really not getting anything new. The only thing, there's a couple things that piqued my interest at both these stores. Only a few things. One, the Game Exchange has a box for Atari 2600 paddle controls in their box for $15. I've been thinking about that for a while. And also they got a bunch of Intellivision games in their box too for a reasonable price. I totally forgot about that. So I'm thinking about taking a picture of all the Intellivision game boxes that I have, and maybe I'll come back at another time, but they really hadn't had anything else that was really good there. I mean, the Game Exchange is, slowly doing like vintage stock. They're consolidating their video games into a very small section. It's called Game Exchange for a freaking reason. Their DVDs / Blu-ray section is damn near bigger than their video game section. And they got a bunch of like toys or knickknacks right in the middle. Granted, they are cool, but I'm like, I mean, if I had the money, I'm like, fuck, I would buy the video games instead of that shit. It's cool, but no. But, yeah, it was not cool. So, and then at the B-Villains, the coolest thing they had was the red Wwe that was pretty much their stripped down version of a Wii. You know how like every big Nintendo or even other systems that did great, they have a slim version or like a even a reduced version of that system. It's just a game console. Well, that's what this is. This red Wii that doesn't even have internet capabilities. Sorry about that. Capabilities. There we go. It's just a Wii. It doesn't even have GameCube support. But they tore out the GameCube support before that, though, too. So, I was thinking about it, trading in that, at least the NES part, but I don't know. I'm definitely at least happy about the two one big pickup and not as big pickup. The first one was the PS4 Pro box. I saw it, I paid $15, so I'm happy about that. And then picked up the NES control deck, the stripped down version of NES. Well, actually, it's not even. You could say the top loader was the stripped down version because it didn't even have AV connections. It only had the RF. And at the time, people were using the RF connections anyways at that time. So I don't blame them. They were forward thinking when they had, the AV cables in it. So, but it's still an NES, the normal toaster version, whatever. I would say the top loader is more of a toaster because you put it in like that. If I would have to compare it to anything, I would compare it to a VCR version because you open the door and you put the cartridge in and then you push it down. So to me, it's the VCR version of NES. But it was cool to pick that up. I was pretty sure how Vintage Stock would do. They would overprice the NES in its box, and luckily it looked like they only priced it as loose, because usually sometimes they'll price it pretty much appropriately where it's in its box worth more, but sometimes they'll price it as loose, and it's like, I'm not complaining about that, obviously. I mean, I think that's awesome. Sometimes I think about, I do have this game loose and I really just want the box. It's like, turn around and be an asshole and return the game. But I don't, because that's just an asshole move. But I do think about that every once in a while. I was like, I'd throw it to a piece. But those are definitely my two big pickups. I was thinking about picking up some Game Gear games, but I was like, yeah, screw it. I'm pretty happy what I got. And really shouldn't spend any more money anyways. I was going to plan to use, I have an idea, I might sell these Sega Genesis sports games. So, like, sell them like $1 a piece, because no one's going to want to buy a bunch of Sega Genesis sports games without it being extremely cheap. The only other thing I can think about is sell them to Vintage Stock and try to get something I want. I did, well, like I said before, they do have the wrestling belts, but I'm sure I'm not going to go get nowhere near that price. Because, God, I would love to have either one of those belts, the WCW United States belt or the WWF Attitude Era belt or Big Eagle belt. But yeah, it was a pretty cool day. I'm just glad, I got up about 9-ish. I was surprised, and I was not fully awake. But after I did a few things, I lay down on the couch and passed out for a while. But I am planning to do some video game playing. Probably finish, like I've said, want to finish off the reproduction games on the Sega Genesis. I want to do some Sega CD, Sega Saturn, and Dreamcast for you guys. I can't wait to do those for you guys. I already did the only reproduction game for the Sega 32X, the Virtua Hamster. I think stuff like that is awesome because it's something that never got officially released. I guess it was an alpha build or beta build. I hear the alpha build is usually the first version of it. Then there's beta build where it's like a little closer to the retail release version. It's amazing how this stuff comes out online, like get leaked, because a lot of the reasons is people find the prototypes cartridges and they dump them on the internet. Makes it possible. And that's why when video games, just like the PT demo for the PlayStation 4, when that is just pretty much, exclusively on certain PS4 consoles. Like, I used to have it. My brother-in-law has the console that has PT on it. I can't even re-download it. It recognizes I had it at one point, but it won't let me re-download it. That sucks. That's bullshit. But that's kind of the bullshit nowadays, that with, stuff gets canceled and they pull it off the eShops and they just they fade into history and people almost forget about it. I mean, we didn't know about this shit until like the PS2 and the original Xbox era, when they started shutting down their services. And they're like, oh shit, some of these games don't work no more. Like, they don't work as they should, because one, they rely on online servers. And then look what's going to happen. 360 and PS3 eventually will shut down their servers. I'm shocked they hadn't, because they're 2 generations behind now. I mean, Nintendo's already shut down the Wii eShops like a couple years ago. And I'm pretty sure they shut down the DS eShop a long time ago too. And now they're doing shutting down the 3DS eShop, and sooner or later the Wii U. I knew that was coming. mainly after they shut down the Wii version. So I was like, well, that's why I picked up Dr. Luigi. That's why I picked up, I need to play, was it their version of like F-Zero on the Wii U. And they have released a sequel on the Switch, when the Switch first came out. Beautiful. It's like if someone took the F-Zero franchise and made it their own. I need to do a video on that. And I got it cheap too. I think I got it for like a couple dollars. And also picked up the Wii U version of Earthbound and Earthbound Beginnings. That's why I'm wondering if people keep saying that Nintendo's gonna drop the Game Boy service onto the Switch. And I highly suggest they do all three genres. You got the OG Game Boy, and you got the Game Boy Color, and then you have the Game Boy Advance. And they need to release all three together, not sections. Just like, this is the Game Boy service online, and then they need to drop Mother 3 or whatever they want to call Mother 3 in America. People would lose their mind. They would have a blast. You know, quite honestly, I think I should try to do, in the future, try to do a gameplay. I would like to, oh shit, I can't do it now. My freaking Retron 5 is not working anymore. I mean, I guess I can see if I can get my Retron 5 to work. I need to, hopefully the connectors can be able to be pulled out easily. And I can swap it with the other broken one. Because I was like, why is it not working? And I looked at the fucking, when I was trying to play Action 52 on it, it broke a pin. And now it thinks there's a freaking game in the Sega Genesis slot. It says multiple carts is inserted. Like, and I looked and there's a broken prong. That sucks. But we'll see. I mean, I want to do that for you guys. And I would love to do, like, the Breath of the Wild game Let's Play. You know, Breath of the Wild. And you know what? Why not? I know it wouldn't be original because people would be like, well, you already got this and that. You know what? Guess I can take this over here. Thinking about cutting through. I guess that's not the right. I made a mistake over here before where I got off one and it wasn't the right ramp. Yeah, I think that was not the right one. much. Yeah, a little crap. But I would love to do more Let's Play. Like, I have finished Pikmin 3, finally. Last week I finally finished it. And, well, I'm gonna play some DLC at another time for you guys. Maybe when I get home and relax, I'll probably do the DLC recordings. Because I really enjoy it. It's kind of almost like the original Pikmin 3, but the whole goal is that you're trying to collect as much gold. You can actually find piles of gold, and you could, like, pick up items, and it's worth it gold. And I believe if you kill an enemy and return it to the mothership, it's worth it gold. And I first originally did the DLC played through all the DLC on the Pikmin 3. So, yeah, we'll see. I don't know. We'll see about it. What's interesting, I just went past, there's a area down over here that we just had, like a couple weeks ago, we just had my grandparents had like 70 years of wedding anniversary, and I'm blessed to have most of my grandparents still alive. My grandmom on my mom's side passed in 2020. And she was a tough old woman. Very tough old woman. She was starting to degrade over the last few years. So it was almost like obvious it was happening sooner than later because, like I said, she was fading away, and that's the sad part. But like I said, I'm grateful to have my grandparents this long. I honestly wish a few things. Like, one, I wish my mom was way better health than she is right now. It sucks what she's going through. Honestly, I wish my dad was still here. And honestly, I wish my wife was still here. That'd be great. Like I said this a few times, I got 2 out of the 3 wishes. Well, I think it was 2 out of 3. I know I wanted to come back home to Oklahoma. Yeah, I guess I did get 2 out of 3. I remember what the second one was. I wanted to come back to live in Oklahoma. I was always an Oklahoman, or an Okie in heart. And I always enjoyed coming back to Oklahoma during vacation. After my dad passed, I was worried about my mom being alone. So I was like, well, I mean, me and my wife could come down there, live down there. I mean, my wife couldn't do anything like work, so she could help take care of mom when I'm out working. So I got 2 out of 3 of my wishes, and it sucks because me and my wife, we would be having a blast going out and doing this stuff right now. And, if she was in better shape with her back. She wanted to go travel, do what I've been doing. She always thought that was fun. the only reason she wouldn't go a lot is because she was hurting. She enjoyed going mainly to the flea markets. We had a blast going to flea markets together. There was a few times there was a football jersey guy, and he had a whole racket. And I hate to say this, my wife was one of those sticker swappers, but honestly, some of the jerseys they put hype. Well, there's certain jerseys I felt was mislabeled anyways, but I was like, I don't want anything to do with that, but do your deal. So I'm not gonna get caught doing that, but wink wink. But we always had a blast. She would even, there was one auction just right, there was one flea market, the same one with the football jersey guy, that she'd go down every once in a while over there and go to the auction. And honestly, I would do the auction too. That's where our son, like, I got a bunch of my Xbox games again from that auction, and I got a bunch of good stuff from that auction. Or I can turn around and sell it for trade bait, you know? It was a good deal. So, I do miss a lot of things. Honestly, I miss my wife. I miss being up in that area, game shopping, going to the flea markets. But I know I'm just rambling on about what's going on with life. But I feel like every time I switch to another shop, I'm a little bit better trailer mechanic. I get a little bit more experience. I'm worth, and probably worth more than I get paid. But I build my worth. Like when I lost my job 2 years ago at my previous job for a bullshit reason. I really did. I got screwed from that job, but I'm trying to think. Oh shit, what the fuck is this? Bike lane? Am I not supposed to be in this lane? Screw it. I don't even know what the hell this is about. Screw it. That's a bad lane anyways. I don't get this bike lane right here. It's an actual full lane. Like, I couldn't get over, so fuck it. I'll probably get fucking pulled over. Like, did you say a bike lane? I'm like, couldn't get over. But like I said, it's a full actual lane. Not like one. Like in some of the towns, they'll have like a little lane with marked green. It's like just a bicycle, but it's a full freaking lane in the middle of between two lanes. I'm like, this is just dumb. Fuck it. No harm, no foul. How I look at it. That's where I'm coming past where the area there's where I have a lot of family that's been buried over here, including my dad. And ever since I had no problem to go up and see his grave before. But it's hard to go up there ever since the passing of my wife. It's a little harder. I don't know why, but it is a little harder to go up there and see all my family members. It's been a pretty good day. I was a little frustrated today because I was literally ready to walk out, and let's just say I got stopped to do a chore. I hate to say it, but it took like half an hour to do this. Like, I'm clearly ready. Didn't say anything until I was ready to go. But granted, it needed to be done, but whatever, it's done. It's not a big deal no more. Well, it's funny, there used to be a billboard sign over here that said, "Let's go Brandon," and obviously it had Biden's picture on there. It was up there for a couple months, but they just took it down. And I was talking to Drew, he's like, well, I think it's because, it's the beginning of the month, and I was like, well, you know what, that makes sense. Because it's not like you buy these billboards and they promote yours forever. It's pretty obvious you rent these every month. Oh, God. Must be allergies. I mean, right now it's 90 degrees. Earlier it's all 94 degrees. God dang. I probably should call Mom. It's almost 7 o'clock in the afternoon. So, yeah. Thanks for listening to my rambling. And I bet you guys notice I start with one story. And then ooh, I want to tell you about this. And I don't return back to that original story. Because sometimes I like to... It's like, oh, you need to know about this before we talk about that. I need some of that vapor rub. I was gonna go get the salad stuff, but I can get that shit tomorrow. What I want to do is I want to go home, use the restroom, and play some video games for you guys. Get one giant sleep. Lately I've been mowing the lawn with our new battery-powered lawnmower. It's a good lawnmower. But right now both the lawns are pretty good shape, so I'm going to take a break from that. Pretty much running out of things to talk about, so I'll talk to you guys later. Like I said, thanks for listening to me ramble. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.